Ken Carson is the most eccentric artist to date, breaking the laws of trap music in the genre. But let's talk about the beats. There's a secret he does that actually breaks music. I'll tell you. His mixing. But wait, it's not that simple though. I got an example right here. Take a listen to hardcore. It's a very different approach to how Lil Pump would do Distortion. Listen to D-Rose. There's one thing that's painfully obvious. The Ken Carson song clips hard with the 808. If you look at the wave pattern, it goes above 0 dB. Nearly everything having distortion on it, even like the melody. But the 808 still sounds soft and you feel the bass. The difference with D-Rose, it kind of sounds mono compared to stereo. You can see from this clip with his 808 clips, this is his main producer, Starboy. He's the mastermind behind his most recent album, Great Chaos, and he totally broke music. You're probably skeptical about this. What makes it such a cool nuance to the normal way of producing? How did he change music as we know it now? The easiest way is to look at compression on OTT. Give it a listen. This is like the original. So look at what I do when I remove the lows. Listen to how it sounds. He took the mix and put it nearly all in the mids, and his vocals are mixed in the mids too, so he became part of the beat. And his beats in general have a bit more of a bounce that's like, listen to a Travis Scott like clean mix, you kind of hear more lows than highs or mids, but he incorporates all that into his music. Everything that's really unique. All things considered, I talked about a mix so much, but what about the individual sounds? What makes up the melody? What makes it so unique? Let's take a look at my favorite song on The Great Chaos. Truly what I believe will be one of the most influential albums of all time. Let's take a listen. Let's look at the sounds. This is about like the full melody. I added 1, 2, 3, 4 melodies on this. That's something Starboy does a lot. He adds leads in like every melody. Here's my arpeggiated melody. You're usually gonna want to do it from scratch because unless you have Hive, which is another VST plugin, you won't be able to do something on your own with just one note. So look at this. I actually added that distortion myself. Here's something that's kind of a secret. This is a little like bass pluck thing he added below the melody. It adds a little more fullness, but it's not quite as low as an 808, so it doesn't take up that space. It's more in the mids, so take a listen. You're not gonna hear it until beats. His drums are so eccentric. Listen to this. You don't really hear the bass knocking going crazy, but it's not like distorted like D-Rose as I showed you before. This is ultimately the hyperpop sound. Starboy being one of his main producers, he has a unique way of mixing the drums and the melody so seamlessly. Again, mids being the everything taking up the space. Well, what a treat. You can apply the clipping to your beats easier too. I wouldn't necessarily add it to every track because you don't want to have distortion. Sometimes you want that really clean mix, but do not hard clip. Make sure to put fluty soft clipper. Take something like an OTT and experiment with the mids and highs on your beats, and I think it will produce some really cool results. Remember, his beats has less lows and more mids and highs. I usually turn down the wet knob to 20%, usually strictly on my 808s to get this Ken Carson style. There's only so many sounds you can add to a beat though before it comes hard to rap on. But this is a great way to create such a bold statement without even changing any sounds. Now, all the information was awesome, right? But what if I told you all those cool mixing techniques and sound tricks that Ken Carson does on his music, they're all pretty much useless to you guys. If you don't know how to start your beats or even finish them, what's the point of having them at all? Click here to learn how to start your beats. I'll see you there. Also, Cardi fans, you guys suck.